Hey everybody, it's your girl Lavette, but you will call me Elle. I'm coming to you live and direct from Austin, Texas. Yeah, boy. Nah, for real. I'm coming to you live and direct from South Austin. What brought me here was I have a cat, 2 cats. Her name is Callie. Anyway, so fairly new to the family. Anyway, so what brought me here was my career, my construction management career. So I've been doing this for 8 years now. As of August 25th, 2001, I started. All my skill sets led me to being an assistant traveling superintendent. This role actually ends on September 24th, 2021. I will be currently leaving the position that I have held for the last 5 months and headed back to the DMV. What has being in Austin done for me? Being in Austin has allowed me to grow. And I'm always evolving, growing, striving to be the best woman I can be, the best person I can be, the best anything I can be, you know? And I learned a lot about social cues. Hi, Dexter. Hi, baby. I learned a lot about social cues here. I had my first friend. He taught me, acquaintance, whatever you want to call him. He taught me it's not a you problem. It's not a me problem. It's a you problem. And that happened because I came at him sideways about something. Like, he was like, yeah, something, long day, whatever. And I was like, yeah, something, because I have a real job. But he was like, well, this is what he said internally. And we ended up talking about it. He's like, well, this is what I do. And you don't know nothing about what I do. Like, how can you say that? So this person, like, he's like, nah, you didn't offend me, because I learned to reflect before and after and during a situation and see how I felt. And I kind of pushed that back on you, like, nah, there was no issue over here. It was a you thing. So I'm gonna let you figure that out while I sit over here and keep chilling. And that kind of took me a long way, a very, very long way. Texas also strengthened my leadership skills. It strengthened my resourcefulness, my independence, and my self-love, and dating myself. And that was a lot, right? It strengthened my leadership because for the first time, I was dealing with a work culture that I wasn't used to. I was put in a position where I continuously work under a certain manager with a certain personality. And I kind of had to do what I never do. Like, I just kind of sat back and I just ate it and I just rolled with the punches, you know? Like, I did complain, but it's like I didn't make it an issue like I usually make things an issue. My resourcefulness. So I drove 1,500 miles across the country by myself. So I had set up a routine, right? And this is where the resourcefulness kind of combines with the self-love and whatever else I said. So essentially I set up a routine. So every Saturday I have my little annual appointment. Then I had my hiking trip, and I may or may not have took myself on a lunch date. So they're big on food trucks here. Which is pretty cool. Like, they're cleaner, better quality food than in the DMV. Like, it's not a street truck, it's like a food truck park, and it's really nice, like gourmet food. Okay, so Thicket was my favorite one. Thicket and another one. It's close to downtown Austin by Lady Bird Lake. Can't remember what it was. Oh, and the plant-based food here is off the chain. So anyway, so I sometimes took myself on a date, and then I would just kind of sit in the house and parlay on the weekends. Sunday was self-care day. The poetry scene taught me here to be still. We have a pretty dope scene in the DMV, but right here in Austin at Native Hostel and the historic Victory Grill, I got the pleasure to attend writing workshops led by the most profound, the most articulate poets, the writers in the state and the country. And it was such a beautiful experience. I got to listen and perform next to people that were great. One of the greatest people were like, nah, don't sign this list. And I'm like, why? And he's like, I want to compete tonight. And I'm like, nah, I've seen you perform. I'm not on your level. And he looked at me like, girl, you better speak life into yourself, right? But these poets that I thought were so great and so articulate, they legit like was like, thank you for sharing that. Like I loved it. Like they dapped me up. Like, you know, it wasn't that, oh my God, you did a great job like the usual. Like those are genuine too. But it was like, nah, it's just like you were dope. Like you was hot shit. And I loved it. And it just made me want to work on my craft more, kind of perfect it. I haven't been working on it because there's this muse I kind of can't get out of my head. So it's like I stopped freestyling and putting pen to paper or even writing things down in my Evernote, right? Because I just I want to decompress this person out of my system because I'm tired of writing about this person. So I did that every Tuesday and every other Saturday, every other Friday. I'm sorry, not Saturday. I went to day brunches. I went to my first pool party. I did some amazing things. I had a lot of firsts in Texas. Texas always taught me to put myself first. So for the last 5 years, I have been working on my vulnerability and being selfishly selfless. And Texas kind of put me in a space to do that because I was an hour behind the East Coast, 1,500 miles away from my friend and family. So my work schedule was actually extensively longer and it wasn't something I could control, right? Normally I was a project manager, project coordinator, project accountant. I had to set hours. I can control it, whether I wanted to come in earlier or later. Being an assistant superintendent, I was stationed on site from as long as 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 7 p.m., right? So I was just expected to work basically as much as 13 hours a day. And that gave me the room, time, and space to focus on my career, learn a new trade, and just kind of strengthening these skills of mine and my people skills and my management skills, whatever have you. And as I said, just focusing on all those things with the routine I created and the expectations of me, I was able to set myself up and kind of focus on me. One of the benefits were to work for this company that I was at, was they flew me anywhere in the country every 2 weeks because they asked me to leave my friends, family, everything that I was used to travel the country for work. And I went home sometimes, but then it got to a point like, why am I going home? No disrespect, but respectfully, y'all not going nowhere. Y'all always gonna be there. Like anything can happen, but it's like, all right, I'll see you next time. Like it's not that deep for me. And I scheduled people accordingly and specifically and strategically every time I came back home because then it became exhausting, right? So it got to a point where I wasn't allowing people to know when I was coming home. And literally, if you've been in my personal space or my personal space, you then knew certain areas where you knew like, oh yeah, she came home, or unless I posted something at the end of the weekend. So became selfish like that, right? Protecting my energy and my space, because the days I was flying out, I was literally leaving work and then flying right back into work, right? Time traveling as well. It's exhausting. And when I wasn't flying home, I was traveling the country or just kind of making Austin home. I gotta stop calling some of these people friends. I don't say a lot of these people. Majority of these people were suitors that I met once or a couple times. And then I made 2 girlfriends while I was here. Taryn and Amber. These girls are love. These girls are life. They're both from California, actually. Amber has been here the longest. Taryn has been here a couple months shy of me. A lot of people were a transplant from around the country, which was so beautiful about Austin. But anyway, so I got used to that. I got used to spending time by myself here, or kind of making plans and dates, you know, with these suitors or these girls that I met, right? And that opened new light. It gave me a new responsibility and something else to focus on. And that overall within itself was beautiful. It was just beautiful to experience it in another side of the country. Like, I'm used to doing it back east in the DMV, but it was just different here. And I want to say it allowed me to grow in a way where I don't emotionally react as much as I used to. It's like I don't have the energy to. Like, I found this sense of peace and stillness while I was here. Going back to what I said in the beginning of the video, the friend that he taught me, it's not a me problem, it's a you problem. So I found peace with that. It allowed me to remember how beautiful living alone is. So I have a roommate. If you've been to my house, you know who my roommate is. I don't know if my roommate wants me to say anything. Unless you go troll on my IG videos, you won't know who it is. You're about to find out, because I told you, right? I had a Diet Pepsi, oh my G's. So caffeine and sugar like kind of Cali. So anyway, so it taught me the beauty of living by myself again. I've had a roommate for the last 2 years, which is the first time in a long time. I've been living alone since I was 19, and on and off with other people, but mostly alone. And it taught me the beauty of living alone again. Girl, I don't want to play. Move! Ow! Your nails. Guys, I'm not editing this. So, anyway, so it taught me the importance of living alone again, and how much I valued my own space and my time and certain things. I just believe in what home life should be when you walk through your door, right? Being in Austin also taught me with distance is privacy. With space, there's peace, right? And you can have that mindset in any setting. But as I explained earlier, it correlates with it. And just being 1,500 miles across the country and having all the responsibilities and the schedule I do here, it kind of allowed me to set boundaries, so to speak. But it allowed me to assess, you know, kind of the space I am, what I'm dealing with, what I have energy for. And I've always been like that, but it's like I've elevated. So being in Texas also helped me work on my interpersonal skills. And going back to what I said earlier about leadership and working with in a different work environment and culture. So I worked with a bunch of travelers. Like, only a couple of our contractors were actually here in Texas. And people talk about Southern hospitality. There's a genuineness and a very nice air of friendship and just kindness from these people that I met versus the East Coast. Like, we're very uptight and like, we need to relax, right? But they're very passive aggressive. And the entirety of my 8 years in construction, I have never made a grown man in construction cry. I've never had a grown man have a temper tantrum on a job site. I've never dealt with those personalities. And I'm big on, like, you'll see my video that I'm really big on men being vulnerable and whatnot. But being in this industry, we're taught, you know, to have strong personalities and kind of be intense, right? But over on this side of the country, very big on communication, explaining yourself, soft tone, taking 20 minutes to say what you can say in 2 minutes, essentially. And people wanting to be told, please do their job. Like, you didn't have to talk to me like that, Miss L. You could have said, please. I'm going to tell you, please do your job. Well, I'm doing you guys a favor by fixing this. This is the HVAC person's job. I didn't ask you to do that. Somebody else asked you to do that. I'm asking you to do what we pay you to do. That person need to tell you, please. I don't need to tell you shit. Go do your job. You're supposed to do it 2 weeks ago. This wouldn't be a conversation, right? And your man's like really had a fit about that. But anyway, overall, I'm learning to essentially, you know, kind of change my verbiage around. Still be direct, but, you know, think about how people may receive it. Think about the sound bite that is essentially being delivered, whether it be at work, in my personal life, whatever have you. Texas also taught me to kind of just be carefree and let go, you know? Austin, Texas is a beautiful place. It is a beautiful place. Some people describe it as hippie town. I don't know. I don't know nothing about that. It taught me that I can start over anywhere, even if it's back in a place that no longer is home or feeds my spirit, right? I found love in Texas. I found friendship in Texas. I found eternal friendships in Texas. I found peace in Texas. I found healing in Texas. I found the capitalism of Texas. I found something else I want to say out loud, Texas. But the whole everything's bigger in Texas, I haven't found it. But that's all I got for you. I'm coming back to the DMV to take on a larger position, same position, not traveling. Going back to the commercial industry, continuing to grow in my career and my profession, and also build my brand of Taylor Holding and Associates, a project management, consulting, and project document control firm. This is your girl L. This is why I've been in Texas. I'll keep you guys posted on what's coming next. This was all over the place, but thank you for being here with me. Peace. I found myself. I found a new version of myself. And I'm just here for it. And I'm so excited for the journey of coming back home and what's next, because I've grown so much. I've grown so much, and I'm just excited for what's gonna come next, and what else the world has in store for me, because I'm not done yet and I'm just getting started. And I'm so thankful for the opportunity of being in Texas and meeting so many dope people, of all kinds of different races. I did not like experiencing racism for the first time here. I did not like being fearful. I did not like that I felt like a black woman. I didn't like that feeling. I hated it. But above all, Texas has been really good to me. I mean, I came and lost weight to gain weight, but it is what it is. I'm over it. It's been really good to me. And I gotta love it. And I'm finna leave it.